Okay, I have a story for y'all today that I feel like y'all are genuinely going to eat up. So, I recently moved apartments at work and I truly have no issues with customers these days. Like, all of my customers are really sweet, but every once in a while I'll get like a trifling situation. Okay, so a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago now, it's been kind of a minute, but I had a customer call me on the store phone, right? Called the store and I was speaking to him and he was like, "Hey, like I got this paint and it's peeling and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh, what kind of paint is it?" He tells me the brand of paint. I'm like, "Okay, like if you want to like come in store and just give me a picture of the paint, like I can either find a way to fix it or, whatever." And then I was like, I'll also talk to my management team about what other ways we can help you, right? So my managers, I'm at the point where I was just like, let's return the paint and sell him something better for a better price if it came to that. And my managers told me no. They said, we're not doing that. You can sell him another 5 gallons of paint, which is hundreds, like almost $100 to $200. You can sell him a better paint for basically the price that he paid. And I was like, okay, chill. About 2 hours comes, or an hour goes by, right? Hour or two, if you will. So this man comes in, okay, full woman's Adidas tracksuit. I shit you not, and I know it's a woman's Adidas tracksuit by the fit, right? A man's Adidas tracksuit and a woman's Adidas tracksuit are two different fits, okay? And then he has like this Australian fucking bucket hat that's going up with Christian writing on it. Okay. That is very important for the story. I am a Christian, but like, let me tell you, it's important for the story. So he had this man with him, and this is where shit kind of goes crazy. So he had this man with him and he goes, "Hey, like these are the pictures of it peeling, yada yada yada." And I quickly look at the paint that he bought and I happened to notice it had my initials on it. Okay? We give a little paint, like a little picture sticker. I couldn't say sticker. I don't know what that was about. There's a little sticker with my initials on it and the paint that was sold. And immediately I remembered this man because he is trifling, right? And I told him, I said, "Look, I said, I told you when I sold it to you, A, it has to be primed before you put it on there because this is not a paint and primer. It is not going to stick. And B, it will not stick onto wood." And I also told him, I said, "Look, I also told you that it was kind of a bad time of the year because he had done it in like April and this was a month ago and we had cold weather. We had a cold front come through. We had a lot of storms come through. All of those things affect how a paint is going to react on the outside. It's going to make it crack. It's going to make it peel." Okay, so one of those were done inaccurately. So I just told him this in the nicest way I can and he goes, "We did prime it. You did not tell us about," he was like, he didn't even, honestly, I'm going too far. He didn't even mention about it going on wood yet. Okay. And he goes, "And on top of that, there were no storms. We live in the same city. We live in the same city." And he's talking about how he painted his house and then there was no cold fronts, no storms. And I'm like, okay, bullshit. Like everybody knows there were, like there's nothing outside of these few small towns. Like even if you lived 30 minutes away, there was still a storm. You know what I mean? So I'm like, "Yes, sir, I apologize. Like I did talk to the managers. The only thing I can do is sell you a better 5 gallon for the same price. That's really all I can do for you." And he's like, "Man, I'm just trying to paint my house, like yada yada yada." And then on top of that, his friend apparently was a painter and goes, "I've been painting for 20 years and I've never had this happen. I've never had this happen." And I said, "Well, it's gonna happen if you use masonry paint on wood. Like it literally says for masonry and stucco. And I told you that whenever you bought it." And he was like, "Yeah, you did." Like, anyways, so Mr. Man starts getting real pissed off. He starts getting agitated, and I start de-escalating the situation. Okay, I've been a manager for a long time. I'm like, sir, I understand your anger, like I really do. But this is what my managers want me to do. And he goes, well, get your manager. And I said, okay. So I called my little manager up, and within like 5 minutes, I literally call him. I'm like, you need to get down here right now. Within 5 minutes, girl, he's at the desk. He's ready to go. And he's like, sir, he goes, as my associate said, oh, I forgot to also mention, I'm doing terrible storytelling today. I don't know what it is. But I forgot to mention, I also told him, I said, hey, if it's not primed or if we have bad weather, it's going to peel within 60 days. That's very vital to the story, okay? I don't know how I forgot that. So anyway, my manager comes up and he's like, he's literally like, sir, like, I understand, but like, this is all we can do for you. Okay. And then the dude starts going off about how he's a big contractor, how he's doing this lady's house and is now costing him like $2,000 to do this lady's house. And then he goes on to say that I didn't sell him the paint. So it went from his house to me selling him the paint to the complete opposite of that, like flipping a script. And I immediately understand what he is doing. He is working to get that free paint. And mind you, all along, I wanted to just refund the fucking money and give him something for the same price or swap it out or do it however we had to do it. But I was told no. And then he starts going off on how I'm a terrible associate, on how I told him the paint wouldn't last more than 60 days, how I didn't even sell it to him. He dealt with somebody else. He couldn't tell us who that somebody else was. And then he also was cussing and screaming the entire time, mind you. And then they're also peeling the paint off of the plastic 5 gallon, saying that we sold them bad paint. That is where they were dying. The hill that they were dying on is that we sold them bad paint. Now, mind you, you bought the cheapest paint there was. I remember it like it was yesterday. He said, I want the cheapest exterior paint you have. And I showed him something one up than what he got, because what he got was masonry paint. And he sees the masonry paint and he goes, I want this. And I told him it wouldn't work. And he goes, I'll make it work. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to sell you this, but I'm going to let you know it's going to peel. That's what I told him when I sold him it. So he's going on to me and saying that he was recommended this, yada, yada, yada. And my manager's like, sir, it literally says for masonry and stucco. Like, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? And then so they keep arguing. He keeps yelling. The customer keeps yelling at me that I'm a terrible associate, that I need to be brought under control, that I need more training. Mind you, I am the #1 associate in that department and in that store. Okay, ranked and raised. Got it? So my manager is like, yada, yada, yada. And he starts pissing me off because he keeps trying to talk shit to me. And then what really pissed me off is one of my regulars was there. One of my regulars, a woman who loves me to damn death and who is sweet as hell. And he literally looks to my regular and goes, I bet she even has problems with him. I sat my ass on there was like a low part of the desk where I can like scoot 5 gallons. I sat my ass, I crossed my legs, and I said, you don't want to bring her into it because because she might defend me. And the lady gets the biggest smile on her face and goes, well, he always takes care of me. And then I finished her paint. She brought me on the aisle and she continues to tell me on how she was proud of me for how I handled the situation. All while my manager is looking at me and telling me, I got this, go away. He gave me a look like he was finna hit me, and I knew I was on the verge of getting fired, okay? We're not allowed to be rude to customers. That's the manager's job, not mine. Anyways, so that happened. And I was like, ugh. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to lunch. On the way to lunch, I get stopped by one of the appliance associates to drive some equipment to help her get something down. I'm fucking fuming. I'm trying to get to lunch. Then I end up at the service desk covering something. And I'm like, y'all, I am trying to go to lunch. Like, y'all need to let me go to lunch. I'm pissed off. I'm over it. So when I'm at service desk, I still see them going at it. And I eventually go to lunch. Okay. I take my little hour and I go to lunch. So when I come back, my manager had to go home. Okay. My manager went home and he had instructed my store manager and a supervisor to come check on me. So they both came and checked on me. I let them know what happened and they both were like, I'm sorry that happened. Like, we hope your day gets better, yada, yada, yada. And during this altercation with my assistant manager, mind you, my store manager don't play. Like, if you're going to yell in his face, he's going to tell you to leave. He's like, I don't want your business if you're going to sit here and yell at me for a mistake you caused. Because everybody had known my name was on the gallon. Everybody knows how I sell that paint. They've seen me sell it 1,000 times where people are like, I want this. And I'm like, no, it's masonry paint. It's not going to work. And they're like, well, it's cheap, so I'm going to buy it. And it never works. It always gets I always have issues. People just don't want to listen to me. And so my store manager was like, sorry. And like, the dude, my manager was like, look, you don't want him in it. You don't, like, I will call him. Anyway, so I'm hearing about all of this as I get back, right? So the day goes on. Anyway, the next day comes around and I finally see my manager again. He's like, hey, are you okay? Like, I know you got frustrated. I haven't seen you get that frustrated with a customer in a minute. Like, nobody usually goes at you like that. Because genuinely, I've had customers who are mad at me, but they don't come at me like that. And eventually they'll realize that I am not the one. You know what I mean? Like, I'll call a manager and walk off. Like, that's not my problem. But I was stuck there. I was mixing paint. I was doing real good for the first few minutes and then I didn't. So when I get back the next day, okay, I look and I see that he had took the 5 gallons back and sent them back to the vendor. So we did get our money back. There was no loss, but he did eventually take the gallon back. He was tired of arguing with the dude. I was a little pissed about that, but at the end of the day, what the fuck can you do? But my manager decided to tell me that the gentleman wanted me back to the desk to tell me that he was not mad at me for the life that I chose. And mind you, my manager is a gay man himself. Me and him are on the same level of gay. He told my gay manager that I'm like, what? I was like, he told my gay manager that he wanted to apologize me because he wasn't mad at me for the life that I chose. What? So my manager looks at him and goes, I apparently chose that life too. Like, we're in the same boat, him and that dude was gagged. He was gagged. My manager don't fuck with that shit. So that shit was funny. But like, you're in your woman's Adidas tracksuit coming at me because you're a dumbass and you know that you fucked up and you want to tell me that myself and I, that you are sorry because you wanted me to know that, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If and my manager knew my manager literally goes, he's not in the building at the moment. He is at lunch. He ain't coming back. And he knew, he said, if you were there, like, I would have like had to pull you back. And I was like, I fucking know it. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you're in here with a woman's Adidas tracksuit on. You were just on the phone with a man. That's the other thing. He was on the phone with a man acting like he was about to go get his fucking back blown out. Like, I thought we were fighting for the whole team this entire time. And you're mad. What? I keep saying what a lot, and I apologize, but like, this shit is wild. Customer service ain't for the fucking weak, and I'll tell you that. Because what the fuck do you mean? Anyways, I think that shit is fucking crazy. To this day, that is one of my favorite stories to tell, because what do you mean? What? Like, I'm sorry, can I help you? Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening to me rant. I love you dearly. You can click the link below and follow me everywhere. Yeah, and that's all for me today. Tune in next